asshole for not converting my cat's room to a gaming room for my boyfriend who's about to move in? My partner, M34, and I, F33, have been together for a year now. I live in a house that I own with four of my cats, and he used to rent a flat, but due to issues at his company, he lost his job and couldn't afford it any longer, and had to move back to his parents' house. He temporarily got a part-time job position at a grocery shop as he is looking for a job in his field of work. He and his parents don't get along well. He says that they're pushing him to get a full-time position and pay towards the bills. He's been hinting at the idea of moving in with me. We're just not at the point of moving in together, but after a while I caved in and agreed to him moving in and paying a portion of the bills. Remember how I mentioned I have four cats? Well, my cats have their own room. I mean, they have their litter boxes and some toys scattered around the house, but their main area is this large room upstairs that was designed specifically for them, with a huge window, scratch posts going up to the ceilings, pathway shelves, etc. It's basically a cat heaven. I also have my office upstairs. It used to be two bedrooms, but I combined them into one office space as I work from home. And one bedroom plus bathroom, and downstairs was a huge kitchen and living room plus bathroom. My bedroom is huge, and I thought it was a given that we would share it. I bought a new wardrobe just for him and made space for the living room so he could arrange his gaming setup, etc. He started moving his stuff yesterday and making comments about my cat's room, complaining about why it's not emptied yet. Turns out that he expected the room to become his man cave, his gaming room, while my cats can roam around the house and don't need a room. He said that he is disappointed, but he'll empty it himself. I said, absolutely not, that he is not going to do any such thing, and the cat room stays at it how it is. He got really angry, and we had an argument standing between boxes of his stuff. It boiled down to him refusing to have less space than cats in his own house, and that I don't respect him enough to allow him to use that room. I've never seen him like that, and I admit, I was a little scared of him. He had an evening shift at his job, and I called my brother to help me move the stuff out. We drove it to his parents' house and left it there. His mother was hysterical, saying that they just got rid of him and he can't come back. He called me from outside, apologizing for his behavior, that he was just really shocked that I didn't love him enough and I loved my cats more, and he cried, apologizing. I stood my ground, but later on I got a phone call from his family, mother, cousins, sisters, all calling me a heartless bitch for picking cats over my partner. I am genuinely conflicted now. Is it really wrong for me to refuse to give him that room? Am I the asshole here? Am I the asshole for yelling at my dad after finding out why my parents got divorced? My 16F parents are divorced. They got together in 2004, married in 2006, a couple months before I was born, and split up in late 2012. The divorce was finalized in early 2013. My parents' split really affected me. I got homesick, upset, and anxious when I was away from one parent, and was the same when I was with the other. I cried all the time, was very withdrawn and sensitive, and thought I was the reason they split. It got tense for a while when my parents got new partners, but I eventually got used to it. If it's relevant, my dad married my stepmom in 2016, and he has two kids with her. My mom has been dating my stepdad since 2016. I never knew why they divorced. I was around 6 when everything happened, and they could only explain it to me in a child-friendly way. Sometimes mommies and daddies grow apart. They still love each other. Everything happens for a reason. And I did question them as to why it was happening, but never got the truth until a week ago. It came out that my dad has been unfaithful to my mom. Him and his girl, who apparently was around 18 to 19, were together for 10 months before my mom found out via photos that the girl's mom posted on Facebook of them together. Expected drama ensued, and during the divorce process, my dad got engaged to the girl. He tried to introduce her to me. She told me that she was my new mommy, but I was cold towards her. I had to see her more after that and just never warmed up to her. They broke it off in 2014 for some reason, and that was that. I couldn't help but snap at him after finding out. I blew up at him. I yelled and told him that he had broken up our family for a girl he barely knew. He completely destroyed my mom and her trust. That he had the audacity to introduce us and tell me that she was my new mom. That he saw how much it affected me, that his 6-year-old daughter wouldn't eat or talk because it gave me crippling anxiety, and I blamed myself. That he was too much of a coward to ever tell me about it. He argued back that it was none of my business, and my uncle, who let the whole thing slip, defended me and said that he thought I knew, which is why he didn't say it. And I had every right to be upset. I ended up storming out and stayed the night at a friend's. I gave him the story, and he said that he understood I was upset, but it wasn't my place to yell at him. I'm confused with everything I feel too. I was young when they split. I wouldn't have expected them to tell me at that age, but when I was older, part of me doesn't feel like it's my place to be upset. Another part of me thinks I have every right to be upset, and both him and my mom, since she never told me anything either. All in all, am I the asshole for yelling at my dad after finding out why my parents divorced? My opinion? Definitely. I mean, you let this girl think they let you think that you were the reason that they broke up. That like you were blaming yourself and having all these issues with yourself for all that time, but it was really your dad. And your mom didn't say anything to you either. Like I guess maybe she was trying to like not like be defamatory or whatever to your dad for you, which is nice and whatever, but like someone should have told you. And you definitely I feel like had every right to yell at your dad. Just yeah, no, that's messed up. Am I the asshole for saying my wife would traumatize our son? Our son is 4 years old and he still isn't potty trained. We've been trying for a while, but he keeps having accidents. Only number one. And if we go out, he has to wear pull-ups or it'll make a mess. Aside from this issue, his development is normal in all aspects. My wife gets really frustrated with him. To an extent, I can understand her frustration, but it feels very counterproductive to get mad and punish him for something he may not be able to control. I tried suggesting a different approach, which would be to give him more reminders and not make too big of a deal of it when it does go wrong. She just thinks he isn't trying at all and wouldn't coddle him too much. I might have a different perspective because I was the same way growing up. It took me longer to potty train than most kids. I was really trying, but I'd still have accidents far past the age where that was acceptable. At some point, you're just forced to accept that's the way it is. I turned out fine eventually. They never found a medical issue causing it for me, and the same goes for our son. I guess he simply got my pee your pants genes. My wife also knows this about me. When I brought it up again, she argued that my parents weren't strict at all, and that their approach clearly hadn't helped me. This felt a little hurtful for obvious reasons. I said that that's the way she's trying to discipline our son wasn't working, and he's only going to end up traumatized if she keeps getting so angry with him over something he can't control. She didn't like that, and I implied that she was causing him trauma. I'm wondering if that was too harsh of a comment. Am I the asshole? Edit. By punishing, I meant stuff like taking toys away, no watching TV, that kind of stuff. My wife either gets hostile towards him or gives him a silent treatment, and it always ends up with him crying. He also has seen a doctor, and they aren't able to find a cause. Physically, everything is normal, and since he's developing normally, they didn't feel the need to get a whole psychological evaluation. Okay guys, I hope you really enjoyed that video. Anyway, I hope you were inspired to do beautiful art with your face, and please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to get notified of when I post, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!